Hello. If you're watching this video, it's because you came to back to school night and you saw I wasn't here and you scanned the QR code and you got to this video. So just for that, you should get a congratulations. My apologies for not being here tonight. I am at my own child's back to school night. So I had to miss Seneca's back to school night, which I hate to do. I love to get to meet the parents of the students that I'm lucky enough to teach every year. So if you made it here, this is BC Calculus, and this is by far my favorite class to teach. I have been teaching it for quite a while, and I love teaching it every single year. This year's group is a fun group, a very excited group, and I wanted you to be able to just hear from me a couple of things about the class. So just so you are aware, I know that they're seniors and very, very academic seniors, but what you'll see in Genesis in terms of their grade, which is I know one of the most important things people are wondering about, is tests and quizzes. We don't have a lot of small assignments. I grade a few things. So one of the things I grade is memorization quizzes. We have a whole list of all these different formulas and processes that students need to know for the AP test. And I have found if I don't quiz on it, we tend to start to forget, because we might learn something in September that we still need to know in May, but we start to forget in March that what it is. So I give memorization quizzes about every other week, just to keep us fresh, just to keep making sure we remember all the little details that have to go into stuff. So that's one thing that you'll see in Genesis, and it'll say memorization quiz. The second things that you'll see are just regular tests and quizzes. So those are usually 100 points. And they are given AP style, which means they are graded on a curve, the same curve that the AP Central people use to grade their AP exams. So that means you don't have to get 100% of the questions correct to get 100%. The students are familiar with that scale if you want to ask them about it, but I just think that everything we do should translate directly to what they're going to see on the AP test, since that is, in essence, what we're preparing for. So the AP test is the first week in May. These students are definitely familiar with the AP test. They probably took the AB calculus test last year. So this year, our calculus test is called BC. And really what that means is it's a Calc 1 and Calc 2 test. So last year, whatever they got, if they passed the AP test, that would exempt them from Calc 1. If they passed this test, it would exempt them from Calc 1 and 2. One cool thing about the AP test for us is that not only can it get them through Calc 1 and 2, but there is something called an AB subscore for our test, which means, let's say they took the AB test last year and they did not get the score they wanted, they can get another score this year just for that Calc 1 material. So when they take the test this year, they will get 2 scores. One will be their BC score, which would get them out of Calc 1 and 2. The other number would be what's called the AB subscore, which could get them out of Calc 1. So maybe last year they didn't accomplish their goals, they'd have another shot with this test. In terms of our material, we try to wrap up our material by mid-April, if not earlier, so that we have a good 2 to 3 weeks to review before the AP test comes. I do hope that most students will take the AP test. I do understand that there are very valid reasons not to. Maybe their college doesn't accept it. Maybe they already got the AB credit last year. But like I said, the BC credit is actually pretty important. I have a lot of students take Calc 3 in college and they skip 1 and 2 completely, and they are no worse for the wear. So there is no reason to not try to get through Calc 1 and 2 at this point in high school. Let's see, Genesis, Google Classroom. Oh, sorry, we have a Google Classroom. The students are all on that. I don't use it a whole lot now that we're past the pandemic. Most everything we do is in class, and if someone's absent, I give them what they missed when they get back. I think I've covered what I wanted to cover. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You'll see in Genesis already, we have a test already there. We have 2 memorization quizzes already there. As of next week, we'll have a second derivatives test in there as well. So you'll start to see, how is your student doing? Everybody did great on the first derivatives test. So maybe it was a little too easy. They were very prepared from Mrs. Mosser last year, so that's awesome. So as we get further into the woods or into the weeds with our material, we'll see how comfortable people are. That's about it. I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you. That is a bummer. And I appreciate you coming out, and I hope that you found some stuff in this video useful, or at least you got to see what the heck I look like based on what they've been saying. That's it. Thanks so much. Have a great night.